let's laugh and fight. Heroes rise and fools take flight. Power levels, stats don't track. Plot armor's got my back. Masked ideals, a hollow prize. They rewrite fate with painted lies. Stripped of soul, the stories break, but legends stand, no force remake. The jesters act, no need to frown. Flip the script, we turn it around. Laugh at the hype, roll with the fun. If I'm the punchline, the joke's just begun. Let's laugh and fight.
All right. Well, we do have a
Or
little technical issue that I can see right from the get-go. Hello, everyone. For whatever reason, the Rumble feed is not.
YouTube isn't up either. It says start sending us your video for whatever reason.
Interesting. Yeah, it's not ingressing for some reason.
Yeah, let me copy the shit into the no, I can't edit that, can I? It says you're live on YouTube, but I'm not.
Right. Let me take a look at the YouTube channel. Do apologize, everyone. It's first time using Evie Muck's studio here, so we might be having a tech issue of sorts. Let's see. I have to.
Oh, we're actually live, but it made a new thing. It didn't use the stream I set up. It made a new one.
Right. Well, yeah, it's interesting on how it does that. I think if you make the stream separately inside the platforms, it doesn't mesh well because this has to actually automate the whole process, and maybe that's what's going on.
Let me copy the link into the old fucking YouTube chat, and I can.
You know, these things are always fraught with a little bit of growing pains. So.
Oh, we should be live on all three now, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna check Rumble right now. It does show live status. Yes, I see us here. All right. Well, hello everyone. Sorry for the initial tech issues.
I just had audio playing in the background. I muted it.
It's all good. I couldn't hear anything. Let's see. Let me make sure our chat system is picking up. This doesn't have my first thing that I put there. Well, for whatever reason, it is not picking up the chat feed here in the studio today. Do apologize for that. I guess. Well,
it is picking up Twitch.
Right, but I'm saying it's not populating here inside the studio. The chats are running on the streams themselves, but they're not feeding into.
Well, Twitch showed up in the studio.
Oh yeah. The Stream Elements one. Okay, but Rumble is not. And if anybody out there on YouTube wants to send us a test chat or anything like that, and see if that system's working. Again, new studio. I convinced HeavenlyJester to move over to this instead of StreamYards because on a actual production element side, it's fairly easy. Although there are some kind of herky-jerky aspects sometimes when you're getting it to start streams that I cannot deny. So much apologies for the initial kind of line start. I don't know if people actually got the legit intro. So we could just play that again for you really quick if you want to see the intro, and then we come back, pretend like this never happened. Or we just move forward and just we'll get it all sorted out.
Well, let
In
me
the
post
coming
the
days
new
ahead.
YouTube link because I fucked that up.
Indeed. Send me the YouTube link in our Discord chat as well, and I will try to get that to where I can
Oops,
send it
that's
to
the studio. That's not the actual link. My bad.
yeah, where I can find it myself here as well.
Uh,
There we go.
we're live on it though. Let me see. Where's the share? Here it is. I got it. There, that should be it.
Cool.
I'll just have to edit the name and shit afterwards, but it should be fine.
Indeed. All right. Well, what I'll do is I will post this link as well here into the Rumble side, and yeah, and let me check to see if we get chat on the YouTube side. So many apologies for the rough start, but you know, tech issues they abound from time to time. All right. Well, we do not have chat showing up here in the studio today, but I will.
YouTube showed up. It just did
There it is.
now.
All right, cool. All right, so
It's
yeah,
a bit of delay.
if you want to make chats, then yes, join us on YouTube. If you want to make super chats, join us on Rumble, and I will have the Rumble feed going on my phone, and so that way, even if they don't show up for whatever reason, I will still at least be able to read them out from my phone. So. But yeah, hey everyone, welcome to the show. It's been a couple months, I think, since we last did one of these. You had to take care of some personal issues, I believe.
Yeah, I was visiting family up north and shit.
Yeah.
Um, but we might as well just get into it. I mean, unless you want to play the intro thing again, but
It's not really that big of a deal. I think,
all right.
yeah, most of the people in the chat are clamoring for it. I think we just press along, and you know, we'll get all the bugs worked out as time goes by.
I'll
Obviously,
have to remember to change something in the studio.
yeah, and I know sometimes Toasty has had this problem with the Rumble feed where if you make the stream too early, it has a hard time junctioning up correctly. So she always makes her Rumble stream within 2 hours of us going live, and then as long as it's kind of in that window, it's not terribly as bad. Or else she'll just wait
Well, the
several
only one I
days after
really
that.
had with Rumble, it was fine. I just had to start it on Rumble side because it
Right. But I'm saying in terms of the chat stuff. But you know what?
yeah.
That stuff I could talk to you about outside of all of this. I suppose today we are here to talk about, I guess, the invasive identity influencer uh, agendas that are getting pushed into anime and manga and other places they don't belong, where by people who just want to see the worst in everything, or the people that are all about having their pronouns in their bio and respect my, ideology kind of bullshit. And they just see this shit everywhere, even in stuff where it doesn't necessarily really even matter. And then, of course, we'll be talking about the upcoming season 2 of the Fallout series as well. But unless there's anything else that you want to kind of just let people know about, I think we're pretty good to go. In case you
No,
guys,
let's start
all
with the first topic then.
right, well, let's head on over here then, and I guess I think the first thing we're looking at is
The artist who
some
got
stuff on
harassed.
right, some stuff on Discord.
Not Discord, Twitter.
Or not? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, oh, I don't even call it Twitter anymore. I never was a member to it when it was Twitter. I detest Twitter. But
I've had my Twitter since like 2016, I want to say.
right, yeah, no, and for somebody who's had an account that long, I can see why you still call it that. For me, it's just been X.
I
And
didn't really use it because like I just had it because I like getting updates on a bunch of stuff, but
right. But yeah, with that said, though, yeah, there is always some fuckery afoot on Twitter X, as a rule, it seems. And today's first little bit of stuff that we're going to get into is based on that. And I guess let me go ahead and I'll take it over to your X account, and then you can give us the lowdown on what it is that we're looking at.
Also, pretty much an artist who apparently is like Islamic. I'm pretty sure that's what everyone on Twitter at least is saying. I'm not sure if the artist came out and said that, but what happened was this person, I guess they're either gay or lesbian or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted art, but because the guy or actually I think it's a woman, the woman was so swamped with art requests. They didn't have time to read the actual like what they wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and because they're Islamic, like they're very much against and they worded it so nicely in the actual response to this person canceling their art request. Like they were not mean about it. They didn't like say, "Oh, you're going to hell." Like they didn't do any of that shit. They just said like, "Oh, I gotta cancel your art because pretty much it's like against their religion." It's like the
Mm-hmm.
same shit with like furry or like other art that people aren't comfortable with. I'm sorry, but they're like to not like the straight people, there is a inherent like, and I'm
Right.
not saying they'll treat you differently, but there's an inherent shit where like we see gay stuff and it's a bit gross, like it's disgusting. I saw a VTuber named V actually post about this, where like to average straight people, and I'm sure like it works the other way around. I'm sure gay people
Oh
also see
yeah.
straight hetero stuff and
Well,
they're a bit disgusted by it. It's just preference. Like you don't want to see it, but like you also like as the artist have the right to cancel shit that you don't feel comfortable drawing, whether it be furry or whatever.
right. Well, there is some hypocrisy here in the sense that these are the respect my pronouns people and things like that. They are very quick to engage in cancel culture activities, but then at the same time, they get pissed off when private businesses go and have and use their right to refuse service. Your right to refuse service as a business owner is something that's your decision, and whatever the rationale is behind it, if somebody simply is just saying, in this instance, I have enough artwork commissions and things like that. I just don't have time for yours. It might just simply be just that. I'm doing all well and good, and even if it is, I appreciate that your interest. However, I have certain principles and values that I cannot bend on because I'm not, just prideful and an empty virtue signal or anything like that. But yeah, it is kind of interesting. And joining
Yo, we
us
got
in
Leon here.
progress, it looks like we have our special guest for the show. Here, let me uh let me go
So
ahead and
sorry about that. I
no
didn't
worries,
even
dude.
go to bed till about 5 hours ago, and see, I set an alarm, and oh man, I'm so
I
sorry.
know how that
Thank you.
goes.
Yeah.
I know how that goes, dude. We
Yep.
had a crazy long. I had a crazy long day yesterday, and
I
I
was
had
up all night, but I
so
was watching anime. So
yeah.
like, I mean, totally different situations.
Yeah,
But
but no worries. Welcome to the show, Leon. Hope you're doing well. And
Happy
since
to
you're
be
the
here. Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
for having
since
me.
since you're the guest, I'll go ahead and I'll even give you a prominent position. You can hang out right there.
I'm not sure, Leon, if you've been keeping up with this on Twitter, but like this artist who like is Islamic and like got harassed completely. Like they actually privated their account and shit, but I think it's unprivated now. But it's because like they declined to actually draw a like queer art that they accidentally accepted on VGen.
I heard about it in passing. The only thing I know is another artist I follow that because I don't follow a whole lot of Twitter artists because frankly most Twitter
Yeah.
artists are fucking gay. But I saw one other artist posting about it, and to me, I was like, I don't know. In my like, as much as I don't like Islam, Muslims, and whatnot, I still also have the mentality of like, it's their business. They can do what they want. If they don't want to do someone's art, and that's fine. But I mean, if someone paid you for it in advance, and then you realize what it's about,
Well, no,
better.
they didn't pay yet. That this is still in the talking phases before they paid.
Then it's really not even an issue because that's
And
just
also, I think
negotiations.
on BGen you can actually refund a purchase. Like if you accidentally accepted said purchase,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can actually through the website refund them. So it's like no harm
Yeah,
done really, besides
no,
like
it's no
hurt
big deal.
opinions.
I can tell.
Right. And nobody's compelled to do work for you just because you want them.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's like the whole shit with the cake fiasco a couple of years ago. You guys remember that?
Mhm.
That's exactly what I was thinking about when you were explaining it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, pretty
No.
much. I'm not sure if one of you guys want to read it because I'm terrible at reading like this shit. But this is the post. This is the message. This is the guy who's like harassing them. Where like they posted it and this is like their art. But this is the message they sent where like they say like oh I didn't really review it before accepting it. I pretty much like it's against my religion to draw stuff like that. And it's like I was saying before, it's like people who don't want to draw furry stuff, or even if you don't want to draw hetero couples, like you're a queer who only draws queer stuff, right? That's perfectly fine. It's your right as the artist to draw what you want.
Right to refusal.
Right.
Indeed. Yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll read this here. This is from Richie. I suppose this is the person who's feeling offended. Wilt Gang, I wouldn't recommend trying to commission if you're a queer person. Many question marks. Constantly questioning, I'm sure, everything. But this was in response to the, I guess, refusal that he received. He says, "Hi, hello, Richie. I was reviewing the wait list and came across your Yume ship request. I truly apologize for the mistake of adding you before carefully reviewing it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to work on this piece as I don't draw queer couples. Uh, Please know
Based.
it's absolutely nothing against your character or idea. It simply comes from my personal religious belief, and I'm trying to stay faithful to that. I deeply apologize for not clarifying this earlier and for any inconvenience or disappointment this may cause. I'm sincerely grateful for your interest in Nico missions, and I truly appreciate your understanding. Thank you so much, and I'm really sorry for the oversight." That is as kind and charitable as anybody can be.
Oh yeah, that was a very, very diplomatic answer. So people being mad at that, then
I mean, this is some of their art. I don't think it's even that bad, to be honest. It's just like, I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah. But this is just a simple misunderstanding of what someone's request was, and if you haven't paid yet, oh well, you're not even at a loss. I suppose if you feel the need to at that point in time to go and try to uh, trash someone's business because they were as kind and charitable as they could be, it says kind of more about you in that instance than it does even the person that was just trying to do good business and respectfully decline an offer that they can't fulfill on.
Let me see some of the comments.
well, the funniest thing about this to me is like what have we been saying for years upon years? Like, oh, all these lefties and these queers and whatnot that are all part of the Rainbow Brigades. Like, yo, how are you aligning yourself with Islam? They fucking hate you. Lo and
They
behold,
had
what
to have hidden replies. There's this guy I was looking at, and he had a reply on here. 1 second. Keep going. Sorry. Oh, they didn't
happened?
hide any replies.
I was saying that like people like those of us on the center, the libertarians, or the right, or whatever you've been saying for years, the left fucking hates gays. Why are gays so supportive of Islam? Well, lo and behold, look what just happened.
Right.
Lefty tries to get some queer art. Artist says, "Sorry, I can't. I'm Muslim." It's like, yeah, we've been trying to tell you. I don't know why you're so upset. We've been saying this for years now, but you decided to rather go to queers for Palestine protests. So like, this is pretty par for the course.
Right.
This is
Which
like a response they made because people, like the amount of harassment they sent towards the artist, they were getting criticism for it.
right. And it says,
Uh,
"Hello, I would like to make a statement regarding the artist situation. I don't condone to any form or way of harassing them. I never sent any threats to them myself or told others to do so. I did share uh, my DMs with them, though. Let's see.
through
Yeah,
VGen.
through VGen, which I immediately got attacked for as well, getting called every slur in the book. But I never had any ill intentions, as someone
That
likes
is
to paint me
complete
with.
bullshit. No, like you know exactly what you were doing when you post on Twitter, fucking this shit. Like, oh, they didn't accept my art. Like, you could have just simply went your ways and got a different artist.
Right. It was simply to warn my queer mutuals so they don't have to go through the same disappointment as me, because the artist did not specify excluding queers in their TOS at the time of my OG post. I don't agree that just because they were polite, we should excuse queer phobia. While I do agree I could have handled the matter privately. I just never expected the tweet to leave my circle the way it did. Well, welcome to the internet.
Yeah, dude. Look, this person is so fucking retarded. They're getting me to agree with the Muslim. And if you guys have been watching my streams lately, you know I've been railing pretty goddamn hard against Islam.
Well, I
So like,
to to bring it to like actual like religion stuff though, I won't stay on this too much. Someone recently went into the Vatican and started destroying shit. Now I'm not sure if it was a Muslim, but like it was a non-Italian like citizen,
Right.
which I'm not sure like if they were just an atheist who was pissed or something.
Yeah, I couldn't really say, but I
But this
haven't
next
recently heard about
part,
that yet.
this next part is fucked up though. Like
Yeah.
I stand by everything I've said. I don't believe heterophobia exists. You guys will never be oppressed as you claim to be. Neither do I believe in white racism. As a person with white upbringing, white people do not have the same history experiencing racism as people of color, and we will never fully understand what people of color go through.
Oh, good
wait,
God.
this is the artist posting
No,
this?
no, no, no,
No,
no.
no, no. This
This
is
is
the
the
guy who
queer
started the
offended.
harassment.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. Right. So yeah, their victimhood is high. You know, I self hating white guilt, fully on display here. It's okay.
I don't think they realize who built New York.
Yeah. No, this is quite the thing. It does say further. It says my account was private with my replies locked because I am not obligated to argue or have any conversation with bigots who don't really have any significance in my life. I stand by what I previously said because I know how much my tweet meant to all the queers around the world from all the messages I got. Thank you guys. Everyone else, get more hashtag woke now. Okay. Yeah. Uh, you're crazy, and you're sitting here now. The hypocrisy of I could have handled this privately, but now that I've gone and made it public, don't go and talk to me in this public space, and because I don't have time for you. It's like, well, how's that any different than the artist telling you I don't have time for this? Yeah, and now you're wanting to seem as though you have the moral imperative. Go fuck yourself.
Also, this dude like uses a guy profile picture, but when I hovered over it, it's like it said like something about magic girl or something. Like I know that's like a genre in anime, but like
It is. This is clearly some sort of they them or something. Clearly some sort of they them.
Right.
this is the guy who's been covering this. Although he says some funny shit, like we have our first quasi surrender in the Great Homo Islamophobic Holy War of 25.
Indeed.
Uh, Also, I don't like. It's funny because like they like use Japanese stuff, but like it's funny because Japan is like one of the most conservative countries out there,
Right.
and like I mean, they're okay. Like, I'm not sure if they're okay with gay stuff. I know they produce a lot of like shit like Yuri and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, Japan is very strange socially in terms of their left right split, and I mean the youth are moving more and more liberal. Obviously that doesn't account for much since they just got a very right wing prime minister, but yeah, it's uh yeah, they've got a very interesting social
Well,
dynamic
their
when it comes to
country
that
is
stuff.
all sorts of fucked because I think the young people are actually the minority, which you want them to be the like majority because then
Yes,
your
yes, they're all on board
population is fucked.
Right. Well, I know the next thing that we're going to end up talking about further in this is just these people that are led by their identity, and they go and they see it in things that it's not even necessarily there for, but because they can't grasp beyond the haze of their own delusion, everything they see is just tainted in that, and so that's all it is ever about. Um, one of the videos that Jester had me look at um, to get ready for talking about this stuff. It was a guy who was talking about. He basically was just on a TDS rant for about 20 minutes, talking about how everything is anti-Semitism or fascism, and all this kind of just oppressed victimization mentality. And then I watched another video that was immediately greeted with looked like
Dude
uh,
uses the
a
shit from
media
what's
a
it called
media
too.
studies major with pink hair talking about queerness in anime, and it's people will see things that are there, uh, you know, uh, through good discernment, but then there are people who will just see their identity in everything, whether it's there or not. Oh, it's queer coded, it's this, it's that. It's like, not necessarily. Maybe you just can't see past your own projections and
Well, the next video or the first video we're covering is about Hassan in One
yeah,
Piece,
yeah.
and
Let me
like it's funny.
yeah. Are you getting ready to load that up? Because I will
Yeah, let me
head over here for a
just
second.
switch
Yep,
over.
yep. Just let me know when you're ready, and I will take it back to the appropriate screen.
It's like it also one second, let me make sure
Yep.
it's actually showing. Where's this? Here, let me just redo it just in case.
No worries.
Like it's like this idea that like One Piece is also notorious because like they include like actual people who could be considered trans,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have like someone pushing that shit on Yamato from the Wano arc. Like it's not even true.
Right.
Like Oda literally came out and said they just admire Odin so much that they pretty much want to be him.
Indeed.
Well, yeah, One Piece is an anime the left always jumps to because like it's a very very easy anime to try and be like, oh, anime was always woke, oh, anime was always leftist, this that and the other. It's like, nah, dude, everything in One Piece is in universe politics. That's not what we mean when we say
Right.
get politics out of anime or get politics out of our hobbies or whatnot. Like, can you find stuff that's left leaning about One Piece? Absolutely. Can you also find stuff that's right leaning about One Piece? Also, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I would argue One Piece is far more right wing than left wing, but I don't make a case for either way because it's anime. It's not fucking real. It's not using real world politics. It's using
Right.
in universe politics
It's
that are just
diegetic to the
universal human truths.
right. Yeah.
I
It's
think like
diegetically
I think
based
the idea of
in the
actually
narrative.
like because like the world government is very much like fucking uh I don't want to use the word authoritarian, but like they're incompetent.
No, it is. No, no.
It
The
is.
world government's 100% authoritarian. But the
Yeah.
thing
Well,
about it is,
yeah,
like, the idea
I
of
don't want to like
authoritarian
fucking do
government.
this whole shit like Hassan does though, and like make it out
Right,
to
no,
be
no, but here's the deal: authoritarian has a meaning to it, and there are stories out there. The Empire in Star Wars is an authoritarian government. It doesn't
yeah.
allegory to modern day stuff. You've had authoritarian governments go back as long as humans have existed. Egypt had an authoritarian government. At one point, the ancient Greeks had an authoritarian government. That's actually they had a matriarch, prior a matriarchy prior to the rise of democracy in ancient Greece. The Roman Empire. Empires in the name, authoritarian government. I mean, so just because something is like authoritarian by definition doesn't mean it's fits into the modern day left right paradigm of the U.S.
I'm bringing this up because I think that inherently like the ability to overthrow one's government is like a right leaning thing. Like I feel like fucking the left is trying to push it so we can't over. They want more government control.
Well, authoritarianism operates under many banners. Authoritarianism in and of itself, regardless what label it's under, using to push its motives forward. If it is subjugative and exploitative and things like that, those are the things that are kind of the hallmarks of an authoritarian uh, form of rule, more so than anything else. Because degrees of freedom and liberties and things like that that we're supposed to have here. You can argue that currently we are in the midst through things like the payment processors and all this kind of stuff. I always talk about corporatist-driven globalism that looks to circumvent regional governance through economics. And if you can make everything operate through a centralized digital currency, then we will effectively have a one world government, even if it doesn't call itself that.
Entirely correct. A technocracy can still be an authoritarian government, and
Exactly.
Oh, but by the way, overthrowing an authoritarian government is another thing that's not right or left in terms because again, the idea of the left and the right in this paradigm, like it's a concept that even in the modern day only really exists in America. Take a look at Japan, for example. Guess what they call their right-leaning party? Do either of you know the name of the right-leaning party?
I
In
can't say I do.
I cannot say off the
the
top of my
Liberal
head.
Democratic Party.
There we go.
Now,
See?
you hear the words Liberal Democrat Party, you immediately assume left wing if you're
Right.
American, but no, that's their right wing. Why? Because what does liberal mean? Well, liberal actually means to be free. What does
Right.
Democrat mean? Oh, democratically voted on. And in their mind, and this is also how it works in a lot of European countries, the liberal Democrat parties are the right wingers because liberalism means to be free, the core
Right.
definition of its base of its definition. So yeah, I don't think that you can assign left right paradigms to anything in one piece because it just pulls from again like all great stories the hero's journey. It pulls from universal human truths about human political regimes regardless of our modern day interpretations of political stuff. So yeah.
Indeed. Well, should we get into the video that you wanted to review about this, Jester?
Yeah, so
All right.
I
Can you
think I'm sharing
take
it,
us over
right?
here then? Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right, this is from the Trash Taste podcast, the one that had Hassan on. It's like a segment from the One Piece discussion.
Have you seen or read JoJo?
I've watched the JoJo ones up to the last one on Netflix.
Part 6, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
part 6, like Florida
Damn,
prison.
you're deep.
Yeah.
I saw some of the Florida prison one. I haven't finished it yet though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Do you fuck with it?
yeah, no, I love
Yeah.
JoJo.
Yeah.
It's weird as fuck. I have a bad take according to Connor. I tell people not to watch part 1.
Yeah, that's a
No,
bad
you don't do that.
That's a bad take.
What?
So it's a horrible take.
I
I'm a
never
huge-
watched JoJo
I'm a-
yet.
And I've been on my downtime. I've been playing the most recent JoJo's Bizarre Adventure video game between other games. I'm a huge JoJo fan, and I think that is a very shit take.
I just like I mean I don't watch it because like the animation isn't really for me. I think it's a bit like I like the I would say it's like the generic anime style, like how a lot of anime are, not this like because JoJo's animation is a lot different than the average anime.
Character design is a lot different. Animation is how stuff moves.
No,
Character
sorry, yeah. The general
JoJo
looks
has
of
very-
everyone.
very good animation. I get why the character design and art direction aren't necessarily for people.
Yeah, I'll have to get you in contact with Honey Badger. He's a huge JoJo fan as well, Leon.
Yeah, JoJo's great. And the idea that I mean every single season it changes genre. Every single season it like first season's a Victorian vampire genre based story. Second season's an Indiana Jones or the Mummy style American action adventure story. Third season is like a monster of the week Pokemon style battle shonen. The fourth season is a slice of life that halfway through turns into a murder mystery. Fifth season is a mob story. Like JoJo's a brilliant anime. I fucking love JoJo. Some parts are better than others,
How
but
do
yeah,
they tie all those themes in together? That's a bit
because
weird.
the whole reason it's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is it's about the JoJo family, and every season is a new like a either son or grandson of the previous protagonist. So it starts in like the 1800s.
So
and
this
by-
that's
and
in,
by parts,
I
they
gotta say
appear in,
that's
like, the
interesting.
2010.
That
What
is
was that?
really interesting to me. Like the idea that the show literally goes over 100 or 200 years, like fucking history, with like each season being like what, like like does it go over their entire life each season, or is it like
It depends. So like the first season takes place in like the Victorian era. Second season, which would be like in England, which is like what, like the 1800s or something like that. The second season jumps.
I think is
uh,
1700s.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, so maybe late 1700s, and then second season is the early like late 20s, early 1930s. Third season jumps to the 80s. Fourth season's the 90s. Fifth season's the mid 2000s, like 2005. So yeah, it sometimes it skips generations, but yeah, it follows this family through just this family. It's their bizarre adventures. They're cursed with going on these weird adventures, having powers, whatnot. And it's just how the different generations use it to do different shit. It's a very, very interesting show. I get why a lot of people think it's weird, but man, I highly recommend the story and characters and whatnot of JoJo they are fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
Also, I remember seeing a clip from this podcast where like they fucking feel weird about some fucking model one of them bought because it's the character from what is it, Dragon Maid, the fucking little girl dragon shit.
Yeah, it was Giguk, the dark skinned dude on the left, on the right hand side of the table. The dude on the left of the right hand side is the one. I'm not particularly a fan of any of these guys. I used to be quite a fan of all of them until they really stopped focusing on anime as content and just more became just general like Japan YouTubers in general, and also had some
What
shit.
they do like fucking shit. They do like politics and stuff in Japan or what?
No. It's just like their content's become less about anime and more just about like Japanese culture in general and lifestyle stuff. And like it's not bad content by any means, but it's just they all got their start doing anime and the anime scene on YouTube and whatnot, and they just branched out beyond that. And so it's just not my sort of stuff, not my sort of content anymore. And then they did this whole fiasco, bringing on Hassan Piker. I covered this in a video, and video did very well, and people got very upset in the comments, or other people really liked it. It was a very divisive video.
I figure Hassan's very divisive in nature.
Yeah,
we don't
you don't
skip
skip
parts.
parts.
We don't skip parts there. We don't
I'm
skip
just
parts
saying,
there.
I'll tell people like it's a little. I mean, it's very different than the
Yeah,
rest
yeah,
of the
super
show.
different, yeah.
It's like a different show that they made for
Yeah.
some reason. Obviously, there's backbone there, like the Porunarafu and the Speedwagon, or not Porunarafu, but the Speedwagon,
Speedwagon, yeah.
and everyone else, like the whole family lineage is established there. But like other than that, it's like a different anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice. You get like rewarded for watching. And I feel like you can appreciate the show more for wildly changing it up, but then also having little crumbs that kind of like reward
Yeah,
you.
especially
for
when you get to like the later parts, like 7 and 8, where it actually they start to call back to stuff in part 1. It's like, oh, okay, it's
If I was
worth
watching
it.
part 6, and they're doing all this weird fucking shit that makes no sense already because they don't explain stands ever.
Yeah.
Because like, why would they? Because you've watched part 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, and then we're gonna get the stand to the Speedwagon Foundation.
I'm trying to wait until they get to the One Piece discussion. I didn't realize that they spend the first like minute not really
And it's
discussing
like, what does any
it.
of these words mean?
No,
you have to watch.
That's what I mean, though. Like, you just establish him as a character, and like But then after that, it's
Nothing,
like it just
yeah.
drops you into this world where like, oh, the fighting sequences changed completely. Like that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like it because it's like, even though part 1 is my least favorite part, it's kind of like a timestamp of the era that it was made in, right? You know, it's very reminiscent of the OG 80s action movies.
Yep.
Everyone's like overly buff and everyone's like a Giga Chad.
I love that.
I gotta say they're drinking like gamer subs cups, but they have no gamer subs in it. But like that's such a like if you're like where I'm sure they have like some deal with them, but like I would drink of it the actual gamer subs, you know.
Maybe they did at one point in time, and they just use the container because they have it. I mean, I still have my flask from, my doctor office days.
I'm not really commenting on this because I don't know JoJo that much. I'm waiting for when they actually get into the One Piece discussion. But Leon, since I think you're the guy who knows the most about it, if you have anything to say, let me know.
So yeah, so far not really. There's covering pretty general correct things about the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Milling about
Only
it.
we get less Giga Chad over.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it though. I like that they're all evolving.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
whereas-
which one's your favorite part?
Ooh.
My favorite is Cujo, so I probably like
Part 6?
Is that part 6?
Well, oh no, sorry, Cujo. Well,
Cujo's a solid name.
Jojo
yeah.
to Cujo.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Jotaro's
All
part
the
3.
Cujo.
Yeah. So
Oh,
like
okay, yeah.
Kira
Yeah.
and all of that.
That's part 4.
Part 4?
Yeah.
Well, Jotaro is in part 4 as well.
Dude, this is just like, did you watch the anime? Like, what the fuck?
To be fair, like it's there is a lot. I can't even argue if we're getting confusing because I just fucked up as well. I said Kudo is part 4. Shit, no, he's part 3. He's in part 4 as well. Is part 3. Part 4 is my favorite part though.
Well, I would assume that with it being, a generational story that you see different.
Yeah.
characters
So
kind of
like
at
for
different
example,
stages.
the main JoJo in part 2, he's like a young Indiana Jones type in his 20s. You jump to part 3, which takes place in the 80s, whereas the part 2 takes place in the 1920s. He's still there. It is an old man. He's old man Joestar now, and it's about his nephew is like the new, leading Joestar. So yeah, you do see them throughout like older versions come back and stuff like that.
You know, I gotta say something about Indiana Jones though. To a bit of a sidetrack, but I don't really care. I wish they did. I wish they didn't kill off like the. I mean, they could have gotten a new actor, but I think his name is Shia LaBeouf. Like, I wish they they continued the idea of having a new Indian. Well, I forget what his name
Everyone
is,
hated
but
that movie when it came out, and everyone hated him. So they just say,
Well, no,
I agree with you, but
I feel like they could change the actor, but I feel like the idea of following the son of Indiana Jones would be much better than what we got in episode 5.
number 5 is my least favorite movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's just a trilogy of Indiana Jones movies. What is this?
Well, did you guys see they're
What are you
they're
on
launching the
about?
Mummy? A new Mummy movie?
There
They're completely retconning the third movie.
That's fine with me. I just want to see Brendan Fraser get paid. Dude's
Yeah.
a good guy. He got fucked by Hollywood. I want to see him make a comeback. So,
He lost a lot of
I'm
weight,
gonna
which is a good thing.
mhm.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'll
Which-
reserve
which
my
is
judgment.
Josuke, right, with the palm.
Say again, sorry.
I say I'll reserve my judgment on the Mummy because I think Brendan Fraser, he kind of got a raw deal in some degree for a number of years, so it's nice to see him getting at least another bite at the apple. And if it
Oh,
has to
he's
be,
really old. Isn't he? Is he in his 60s? I want to say, or 50s, maybe.
Probably I'd say 50s because I think he was in his 20s back in the 90s for Encino Man. And all
Yeah,
that
I'd say
stuff.
50 is probably about right.
All right.
The door?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
part
okay,
Oh
four.
no,
Jojo.
not Josuke. No, with the hat.
Jotaro.
Yeah,
that's part
Jojo
three.
Jojo.
He's in part 3, 4,
And
Yeah.
6.
and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you just like him? As a
I just
character?
like him. He's my favorite. character.
He is the most popular.
Yeah.
Okay, that
After-
makes sense.
But I think in Japan, Dio is the most popular character.
It wouldn't be Hassan if he didn't choose the most popular character to like.
To be fair, I do believe Hassan watches anime. I just don't believe that he's an
Well,
actual.
no,
anime fan.
I'm not disagreeing that he watches it, but I'm just saying I feel like he's choosing the safe options. Like he chose the fucking as far as these guys know, like the most popular character internationally versus what's popular in Japan.
Right.
Character.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
they love
he's
Dio.
probably like the biggest recurring character outside of
Yeah, he turns up in
Jotaro.
everything.
Japan loves
Yeah.
the bad boys, man.
Yeah, they do. They do.
That's surprising.
Because he's like super charismatic and crazy.
He's like
What I
psychotic.
yeah.
Japan loves psychotic characters.
What, like, why would you root for the bad guy? That makes no sense.
What? No, because he's epic. I love him.
What the fuck?
He's great. He's just
That's
got a
odd.
stage presence, you know, and
I don't
the
know,
Japanese
I'll
voices
tell
are
you
so
this,
goddamn
but,
good.
More often than not, you're the bad guy, and you want everybody to root for you. So,
Yeah, there's probably some projection going on. I agree.
right?
I gotta say, I do like I guess anti-hero characters. Like, I did like how what's it called? And did like I mean I don't like how he died, but like at the end of Attack on Titan, how he decided to become the villain to like wipe out like the idea of ever completely wiping out the race of whoever. I think they're called Eldarians or some shit like that.
I wasn't a fan of Attack on Titan myself. I
Yeah.
know Aaron became a genocidal dictator, basically. I'll be back in just 1 sec. I gotta turn my heat on. It's freezing in my house.
No
Give me like
worries. No worries.
5 seconds.
Yeah,
All
no
right,
worries.
let's continue. I mean, do you want to wait or
I mean, I think they're still just doing general.
Good as
Yeah.
well.
general-
if they're just covering
not saying
JoJo, I'd
anything
rather
of substance.
continue.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I think it's just because he is, you know, Japan being like a very, let's say, a very quiet society. They love someone who's like more eccentric,
People
shows
who we'd
themselves
be like,
more.
that's dumb. We'd
Yeah.
be like, that's fucking annoying. Like, you know what my first experience with JoJo was? It was the fucking Steam sale edits where they would. Have you seen these? When they would
Oh,
do like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
like they would have these meme edits where it was like a Steam. Back when Steam sale was a big meme. 'cause
Yeah.
obviously it's always
I remember seeing a few of these. Those are pretty funny.
everything's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And they would do like the final fight in part 3.
Yeah.
With Dio versus Jotaro. And it would just be like, because he screams Muda so many times.
Yeah.
and they're just
Yeah.
like throwing more Steam sale memes at like another sale,
yeah.
another
Yeah,
sale.
yeah.
That's the first time you ever saw JoJo?
It's the first time I
Was
ever
a meme.
interaction. It's a meme. And I just didn't understand.
That's how Connor discovers most things.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, well, because it was
Through
like,
memes.
I was like, what the fuck is this? And then there's this dude screaming, and Jotaro is like the wallet, and Dio is like the money. Like the guy like Steam's taking the
Yeah.
money.
I have no idea how I got into JoJo.
Yeah, how did you?
I don't know. I literally have no, because it's like one of those things where it's so popular and it has
Yeah.
like an annoying fan base.
Super
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So then like kind of like One Piece, as a matter of fact, I would say.
Is that how you?
Dude, how far are we in? We're 4 minutes in, and they're only just now referencing One Piece.
I mean, what's the title of the video?
I think One Piece is the most political anime ever made. So, like, I feel like they should have been talking One Piece much more than that.
Well, maybe they wanted to highlight that they had Hassan there. And
No,
Is that against anime? You just-
how long
it's
is
like,
the clip?
you get-
total?
I get-
You gotta play that YouTube algorithm. You gotta do the lead up. You know,
that's
if it's
right.
so, yeah. If this is a clip, you need to lengthen out your video to get people to click on it.
Yeah.
Watch time is important to the algorithm.
I mean, I've heard from people that all you really need is 8 or 10 minutes, and then like, well, that was a long time ago that I heard this. That was like when they weren't pushing shorts anymore. Like, and like you actually could find shit on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
this- like
I operate on the rule of 10-minute minimum.
I mean,
yeah.
it's been a long ass time since I've made just about anything. But you know, Leon, I don't know if you know about my computer saga, but it's finally come to an end. I have the new PC here.
That is such a
So-
small PC too.
It is, but it's got 32 gigs of RAM on it, and it will be enough to actually do editing and run the pirate cable station on my Discord and all that kind of stuff. So it's what I need. May not be necessarily what I want, but it's what I need right now, especially since this laptop has been dying over the course of the last year, and you can probably still subtly hear the fan in the background. That is my laptop that is making that noise. So I do apologize, everyone. But it'll be done next week.
Lead into watch it.
Oops, I forgot that holding it fast forwards it.
No. I don't think JoJo was like, you have to watch this. Like, But it just, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, because JoJo fans have like the reputation of being the annoying fan base.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
never being
Yeah.
able to shut up about the show.
Yeah.
Which is totally true, by the way.
It's
But
very
that's
true.
like every, I feel like that's every anime fan base.
One Piece love to pretend they're not like that, but One Piece fans
Oh
are like,
my god,
are like
One Piece
the
is
worst.
way worse. I promise you, like as someone who watched JoJo and is currently watching One Piece,
Yeah.
One Piece was way worse with respect to like how much they were like, bro, you have to watch One Piece. And it's such a, it's like a biblical text.
I can say one of my brothers is very much like that, where like he bleeds One Piece. Like it's I guess his favorite anime. It's like we in a group chat get into arguments about like, oh, I think Bleach is better than One Piece, to be honest.
Not even close. Here's the dealio. I get One Piece does have an annoying fan base. It does. People evangelize One Piece. Here's why. They should. One Piece, if it was not a manga, if it was a series of novels, and in 100 years, there will be like college courses teaching One Piece the way they teach Tolkien. It is literally it is the most well written story.
But would we really want that? Because I heard from a
It is the most
nerd rod
well-written story of
once.
the 21st century.
Well, I heard from a neurotic video, right, that they're actually teaching anti-Tolkien, meaning that
You're missing the point. That you get the political.
No, I get your point, but I was like, do we really want them to teach One Piece 100 years from now, where they could be anti it?
That's neither here nor there. The point is, it is the way that Tolkien is revered as the greatest author of the 20th century of fiction. One Piece will be looked at as that for the 21st century. It is a generational piece of writing. It is, and One Piece isn't even my favorite anime. Like I'm being biased here. One Piece maybe cracks my top 10. It might not even crack my top 10. But in terms of like just being objective, it is the best written. One of the best written just stories in general of the 21st century, and certainly the most well written, long running anime of the 21st century. The amount of character development and world building and lore, and I mean we're talking, we're not quite Warhammer 40k levels of deep, but certainly Tolkien levels of deep. Absolutely. So like One Piece of fans have earned every right to be annoying.
Well, I argue that I think Bleach is better mostly because of like I think Ichigo's goal is much better than fucking One Piece, because like I like the idea that it's just a humble goal that like you want to protect your family and friends, but like then you get dragged into worse and worse situations that could mean the end of the world. Like, and like it's just like, I mean, as like I'm the oldest of my family in terms of me and my brothers, like I would like to think I would want to protect my brothers like the same way that
it's probably
Ichigo
lightly
does.
better. I don't think anybody's gonna you can like whatever you want to like, but like as someone who's seen both and like just looking at the pure objective quality of the writing, Bleach is not as well written as One Piece. It's not, the characters aren't as well written, the lore isn't as fleshed out, the world building isn't there. Bleach has a lot of
Okay, I don't agree with the world building. Maybe the writing's worse, but like the world building of like the different power systems and stuff is very interesting to me. The Espada, the Bronze cars.
That's interesting. It's fine, but when you're talking about a world, when you're talking about world building, it's not about what is interesting. It's about how expansive and fleshed out and just the quality of how the mechanics of the world all work together. So like, within One Piece, you've got like roughly 4 different governmental factions that are all written out as, I mean, they could exist within the real world. You've got tiers to the military systems. You've got I mean, every single main pirate organization or whatnot has textbooks worth of history to them. You've got the it's not really magic, but for
But these, well, one second, to bring up the pirate, like the pirate lore of each crew, is this like out of the show? Because I haven't read One Piece yet. I know it's gonna be a daunting task to buy all the books, because like I don't know how many of them there are, but there gotta be hundreds. But
I think there's like 1,000 or more.
Well, there's over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
There's over 1,100
No,
episodes.
that's chapters.
Yeah, usually one volume of manga will have like 3 to 5 worths of anime episode material in it. So I think there's like 100 something. I think you're right. I'll look that up. How
But
many?
bring it back to that, like, is this like lore that like is out of the books in the show? Because I
Yeah.
understand this. Like, I know that Oda likes to reveal stuff a lot, like on the internet. Like he likes to, like he draws little stuff, like, oh, what happens if? I think it was him who drew this. Like, what happens if the Straw Hats don't achieve their goals? And it's like they get really fucking ugly as fuck. I'm not sure if that was him who drew those, but it was like something like, oh, if what if the characters don't achieve their goals versus what if they do?
No, when I'm talking about the lore, I'm talking about literally in universe lore.
No, no, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I think that also counts. So, like, including lore that like is outside of the books and anime. I'm not talking about like the art they draws, like the characters if they don't achieve their goals, but like, stuff like the Vivra cards, I think they're called, like where it actually shows that Yamato is actually a woman and not a man, because that's actually considered canon. The little like cards, I guess.
Right.
the ma-
All Viva cards are so in universe. Viva cards are something a little bit different. But in terms of what you're referring to, like the Viva cards that Oda and them draw, it's no different than just character bios. You pop on a video game and you go to the character, like the
yeah.
like the character screen. It'll give you a description like, oh, this character's born here, lived here. This is a date and birth. The Viva cards are literally no different than just a quick way to get familiar with a character. Viva cards in universe serve a different purpose. They're
Yeah,
basically
I know. Yeah, they're like things that track down people.
right. Yeah. Every Viva card is tied to somebody's soul, and if you have their Viva card, you can use it to find their location at any time. And if your Viva card, how large it is directly linked to how alive you are. So once someone's Viva card burns out, like they're dead.
Well, it's funny because like there's a meme that I love seeing on the like it was a short I want to say on YouTube where it's like, what if like Luffy was close to death, and it's just a meme of like, oh, Dragon going with Sabo, then it's like then that's a bot. Why are you showing that? But then it's like the One Piece, sorry, not One Piece, fucking Whitebeard pirate remnants come in to help. Then it's also like literally different groups from all around just coming to help Luffy because his Viva card is burning up. It's just a funny meme that I found like as a short.
Not familiar with that, but One Piece is generational. It's incredible. Again, I just trying to speak objectively because it's not even in my top 10. But yeah, it is a beautiful.
I'm not saying it's an incredible show. I just think like I don't know. I just prefer Bleach. I think.
Yeah,
I'm still like I want to say I haven't expanded to much anime yet. Like I mostly watched shonen growing up, but then I got into like the fantasy and isekai genres and stuff. But let's get back to it.
It's like it's too many episodes, so you're like, I don't have that kind of time.
Like,
commitment.
which arc are you on? I'm on the New Testament.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have that kind of time commitment. Like I can't do this. This is, and then you get into it, and you're like, oh my god, it's so good.
Yes, we did it, One Piece fans.
It's the OG cult in Japan.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
It's like the most popular cult.
Yeah.
I have people now in my fan base that just like don't know me for politics, but just like listen to me talk about One Piece because like I have thousands of fan channels on YouTube.
I'm sorry, I don't believe this. I don't believe anyone's coming to Hassan for fucking One Piece.
I do.
Shit.
When I did a video dunking on, I think it was this exact situation. I had people popping up my comments being like, "Yo, Hassan fan here, and I absolutely hate his politics." There's a difference between the people who are fans of Hassan for his politics and people who are fans of Hassan for his anime.
Well, like,
And it's
when
like,
does he
they do
comment
exist.
on anime? Like, I don't like the. I mean, I guess I don't really watch his streams, but like, he doesn't do like non-political streams. Like, every stream of his has some form of politics. He might talk about fucking an anime for like a few minutes to like.
Well,
an
no,
hour
I
or
mean, he
something.
streams 8 to 10 hours a day. You can't stream 8 to 10 hours a day on just politics. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for dunking on Hassan, but we also got to be intellectually honest. Like, he talks about other stuff. It's just no one ever clips that or talks about that because it's so surface level and benign, and it of course nothing he can say about anime will ever be as important as him saying things like, let's kill sitting senators. So but yeah, no, he does talk about other stuff for various lengths of time, not that gives him a pass.
All right.
Right? Like, I don't have any IP or anything, so I'm like, whatever, let it ride. Who cares?
Yeah.
There's this one fan channel that made an edit about how I used to talk shit about One Piece, and I started watching it. And those videos independently, this channel's got 10K subs or something, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
That video got 100,000 views on its own. And now he's just detailing and documenting every single episode and every single arc that I summarize basically as I'm watching it. And there is a fan base for that.
Oh,
people
yeah.
love One Piece. And
Yeah.
are obsessed with everything.
Which is a very political anime, Connor.
That's okay.
Here
It
we
is a
go.
very political
What?
anime.
You told me One Piece is very political.
Yes.
What aspect?
Oh my God. Yes, I love this. Okay. This is going to piss off everybody, but I'm so right about this, even though I'm no. Okay. First of all, every single arc, well, other than the first couple of arcs, every single arc quite literally details leftist politics, which I think Oda is. Oda is 100%. Oda is.
By the way, saying Oda is leftist while showing I mean, I'm not sure if he's obviously coming from this.
Oda has never made commentary on.
No, I understand that. Coming from him in this situation, though, right? He brings this up from, I think, a American point of view because that's all he knows. I know he lived in Japan for a little bit. I don't know if he got into politics there or not, but I'm bringing this up because it's funny because how he portrays I think it's Kamabaka Kingdom. It's funny because those are what most people consider the trans island, and it's so funny because how he portrays them, which to anyone in the left in America would seem like he's making fun of them.
It's an island of effectively transvestites, straight up Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff. It's very much done for comedy. It's very much done for a joke. But yeah, I mean, look, I've looked into trying to find any comment from Oda in terms of his politics, and most manga,
I think he's doing the correct way. Keep politics out of it,
right?
It's just I don't understand where this song is coming from. Where you can there's no indication that he's anything like a leftist or right leaning or whatever.
Well, I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier about, Hassan is obviously led by his ideology, first and foremost. So he's going to generally see that in anything that he looks into because he's steeped in his own, worldview to where that's what he's going to see in everything, whether it's there inherently or not, he will find a way to make it.
I agree with that completely.
Now, I do gotta ask you a question, Leon, because Google told me one thing, but I don't believe it. Did Oda come out and say, you remember the twins or not the twins, but the siblings from Wano, the white beard pirate, and then the other sibling that are they? Because I looked up and it said that Oda came out and said that they were actually I guess gender queer or trans characters. Although
I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't heard that. And if they are, I'm not even sure what characters you're referring to. There's so goddamn many, so that it's not
I'm talking the white beard pirate who wears the makeup and stuff, and his sibling or her sibling, whatever the fuck.
Let me look up these characters real quick. One sec.
So it's because they're both cross dressing, but I'm not sure if it's because they were cross-dressing since they were young when they were poor and Odin took them in.
I mean, the only siblings in line with Whitebeard are the Dalkavan brothers. That's from what I'm
one
seeing.
of them is a Whitebeard pirate. The other was a retainer of Odin. Well, actually, they were both retainers, but one left to join the Whitebeard pirates at the same time as Odin.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. I mean, yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I just wanted to double check if you knew or not because I got into a little discussion about that a while ago, and I actually wanted like I never saw a precise tweet, but Google AI is often wrong. It told me that he did comment on them actually being like trans, unlike Yamato, who he confirmed is a woman. But let's get
100%
back
a
to it.
leftist, first of all. He has a Che Guevara photo in his studio. 100%, look it up. Established fact. I have assets. I can pull it up.
Wait, is this his studio?
Yeah, that's Oda's studio. Yeah.
Are we? I feel like that might be edited. Like, can you
No,
really?
it's been confirmed real. But like, he's got a Che Guevara photo in his studio. That's to me, that's not
These
indicative of
guns.
Yeah,
especially if, like, oh, Che Guevara was a left. Oh, okay, he was.
he could
you
be
mean
there
he
for a
was-
variety of reasons.
Yeah, well, not only that, like the left can try and claim Che Guevara all they want. The left is also super pro-gay, and guess what? Che Guevara, focused on family values, and he hated the gays, and killed gay people for being gay. And like, I'm wrong. I'm never gonna be a fan of communists, and he's a fucking communist loser. Che Guevara is, but by by all accounts, he has more and that's what I mean by modern left-right standards or whatnot. By today's standards, he has more in common with the right than the left. That's why trying to boil things down to this modern day left-right paradigm doesn't work because
Hassan is so stupid that he compares the Middle East being gendered like fucking like progressive because they force guys who are gay to be trans there, I guess. And like
Right.
that's like him saying that, oh, they're so inclusive. No, they're not. That's fucked up.
yeah, it sounds retarded.
All right.
To be fair, yes.
I mean, also, do you see where my mouse is on? Yeah, you see it. Are these supposed to be like guns or like what are these?
Yeah, they're guns.
Okay, I didn't know if you could have guns in Japan.
I mean, they're probably model guns or they're decommissioned. I'd wager a guess.
Okay.
Fact. I have assets. I can pull it up.
I got the receipts.
Show. I want to see this.
I can pull this
All
up.
right,
Okay,
all
hold
right,
on.
all right,
What
Okay.
else? What else? What else? is
Okay,
there?
so that's number one.
Yeah,
Number
okay.
two, which arc are you on? I don't want to like spoil anything.
He's
I
Thriller
just
Bark.
finished. I just
Thriller Bark.
finished,
Thriller Bark.
Dude, wait.
Water 7.
This came out Water 7. Wait, he said Water 7. So he's on Thriller Bark? Dude, this came out like 2 years ago. There was like fucking 400.
This controversy is very old.
I know that, but like 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure it was like the anime at least was up until like fucking, or at least on Wano, I'm pretty sure, or Whole Cake Island or something.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
dude,
I mean,
how far behind are you? You're an anime
well, I mean, One Piece has
podcast.
been- Yeah, but One Piece has been airing since 2001. I mean, if you're not watching it weekly, I mean, not everyone can watch every anime. So, especially
I get that, but like,
and Connor didn't get his start as an anime YouTuber. He actually didn't watch anime almost at all until Connor's whole thing was he was a voice actor, but he was a voice actor for doing things like
is this the
audio
Connor
books.
who's friends with what's it called? The VTuber? Or is this a different one? The Iron
I
Mouse,
mean-
I think.
Yeah. This is the same Connor.
Okay.
But anyway, so he was a voice actor, but he would do things like commercial dubbing and audiobooks and whatnot. So the reason he blew up in the anime community is he was doing this. He did this series where he was rating voice acting, how well it's done, the whole nine. And there was so people would send him clips, and they sent him a lot of anime clips, and he wasn't really an anime fan, so he just got into watching anime because his audience kept sending him anime clips to review in terms of the quality of voice acting. So yeah, he's very new to anime in general.
Well, quality in what way? Because I feel like a lot of dub is dog shit. Like, does he mean the Japanese quality? Like when he got into it, or
No, he's a voice actor that does commercial work and overdubbing and stuff like that. But I mean, I would imagine it was the stuff in English because he's got to understand it to be able to rank it. But that's, I mean, the whole idea that dub is inherently better. Well,
I'm
That's
not
false.
saying it's inherently bad. Like, I've got to say, like, one of my favorite lines in all of fucking anime is the suicide charge done by the leader of the, what was it, the scout regiment at the time, where he's like suicide charging the hairy titan one, the shifter. And like he goes like the speech he gives as they're like charging it to their death.
Talking about the blonde Captain America looking guy.
Yeah, that guy. He was like, that speech is actually really good voice acting. I love it.
There's a lot of most dub voice acting is fine. People are just peers. I mean, as someone who does mostly watch anime in Japanese, it's like the whole dub or something is retarded.
I think there's
There's some bad Japanese
uh,
dub because just like in America, we have bad actors. Japan has bad actors as well. So you got bad voice actors in Japan.
I
The
think
thing
there's
is,
some
people can't
validity
tell-
to it. I say
Yeah.
there's some validity to it because because like the whole thing is like with like the localization in America, or
If
at
that's not
least
acting, that's localized, and that's different.
no, I
If-
know,
if-
but you still would prefer the original Japanese with subtitles unless they do the
No, but again,
subtitles
we're
and
talking about
localization
currency.
too.
That's first of all, subtitles are localized, but that's the
Okay,
point.
I
Is,
didn't know that.
yeah, we're talking about the quality of acting here. Like so, like you can get a plus actor like Denzel Washington. Someone puts him in his shit lib lefty script. Is the script going to be bad? Sure, but his acting when he's performing the scene could still be A plus grade A acting. So
I
like,
feel like it does inspire the like if it's bad script, I feel like it inspires like a bad like time like
I don't know. There's plenty of bad movies that have great acting. I mean, let's see what's a movie that came out relatively recently. Like, take Fantastic Four for example. There's nothing egregious about Johnny Storm's acting, or even the female female Silver Surfer or whatnot. All their acting was just fine. I mean, the movie may have sucked, but yeah, no, there's a lot of bad movies out there that have good acting. There's a lot of good movies that have bad acting. Star Wars is great, but it's known for having some of the most wooden acting in fucking history.
especially the prequels, but I still prefer the prequels over the fucking sequels any day. All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thriller Bark kind of sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That's
Yeah,
like,
it kinda
the ending is
does.
great, but like everything
Yeah.
else is kind of mid.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
I don't know if I agree with that. Thriller Bark, it might not be a Marineford level arc, but like it was still high up there for me because I thought like it was interesting. This is the I think first this is the first like what are they called, the warlord after Crocodile that I think once again this is like the first warlord they actually beat after Crocodile, and Crocodile was done by just Luffy, but he needed his whole crew to take out fucking what's it called.
I think Thriller Bark's one of the worst. It's good. One Piece doesn't have any bad arcs, but it's one of the worst arcs. I think it's one of the most horribly paced arcs, and pacing is very important when writing a story. So
I
mean,
think
yeah,
it's interesting,
Thriller
like
Bark.
they reference Thriller Bark in Wano when like they're getting attacked by the like giant like creatures that what's it called? What's the guy's name? Kaido like has under his leash, the like sub like intelligent like giant creatures that I think Oars was a part of.
Oars and his brother, Little Oars, I believe is his name, or whatnot, are referenced in Hokkaido arc. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's like it's called back to when like they couldn't defeat Oars, but like fast forward to this and Luffy can solo something as powerful as Oars, like, and it's just as big and shit. So I feel like that was like also it was weird because we never saw like this race of being like the like giant fucking not giants, but like the like giant devil looking like race of whatever the fuck they are. I'm not sure if they have a name for their
They're literally called
species.
giants. Like, in One Piece, giants are a race. So yeah, they're just literally called giants.
No, I'm talking about like the demon looking ones though, not like regular giants. Like
Oh, well,
oars and stuff.
Right, but like in One Piece, that's another thing that makes the world building so good is that you've got aspects like things like that just they
Don't
don't
have names.
well, it's not they don't have names. It's just that they're so already entrenched in the world and whatnot that the history, like whether a giant looks human or looks demon or whatnot, it's still just a giant. It's just different sects of the same race. Sects, sects, sects. I don't know if that came out proper or not.
I just think it was interesting because when I was first watching Wano, I really enjoyed the callback to Oars. How like I said, they couldn't defeat Oars solo with just Luffy. They needed everyone, including an overpowered Luffy with like the power of like fucking whatever the fuck they were, like the shadows they stole. But
Yeah, the Wano arc's one of my favorites. I love the Wano arc.
but doesn't that have bad pacing too? Like I feel like nothing happens in like several episodes.
The anime has rough pacing because of the filler and stuff. The manga has much better pacing, but also a lot of Wano is backstory and history, which I love that sort of shit. I love when they go, oh, here's what happened 50 years ago, and spend 10 episodes on 50 years of past and history and whatnot. So yeah, no, I don't think Wano arc's pacing is bad, especially if you're watching weekly. But that's just me.
All right. I mean, I enjoyed both Wano and Thriller Bark, but I definitely feel like Wano was better.
Because what comes after is so good.
Everyone says this.
Okay.
I'm tired.
He's
right. He's right, though.
It's
He's
so
right.
good. It's so fucking
Hold up, let him
good.
cook. Let him cook.
So,
let him cook.
But that means you watch Alabaster, right?
Yeah.
Which is definitely political, but like not as aggressively. But it's about like resource deprivation, things like that. But then Skypiea, which again may be a little bit too long as an arc, is quite literally about like indigenous populations being removed from their land and like violently trying to find autonomy and emancipation through violent means directly against like an enemy that is.
Dude, I'm not sure if he's should I let it play a bit more? Like, is this like this is so dumb? Like,
well, what he's saying, it goes back to what John was saying. If you look for your ideology in it, you'll find it. Are these themes there? Yes. Is that
the
inherently?
Scythians never revolted. It was Luffy who was fighting Enel.
Right, but Luffy's whole thing is like giving them the courage to try and take their land back and stuff like that. But the point is like, if what's a good example? If we want to use, let's say we want to use real world politics, it's like, oh, they were driven from their land, and that's it's about the struggles of the indigenous people. Yeah, okay. Guess who drove the Native Americans from their land in U.S. history? Andrew Jackson. What did Andrew Jackson do? He was the founder of the Democratic Party. Like, so you could say that's an anti-left belief if you want to try and use real world politics. He's cherry picking ideas to fit his ideology. Is what I'm getting at.
I also think like he said that they were fighting. Like, I think I might need to rewind, but they were fighting for their fucking like thing. They weren't fighting at all. They were leaving. They were leaving in exile to go to the regular sea. Like, they weren't trying to stay. They were powerless. Meanwhile, Luffy saved them and stopped them from having to escape.
Right.
So like the idea that they were fighting themselves is dumb, and I might have misheard them. That's a very girly looking water ball. All right.
Much more powerful than them.
Right.
That is like, that's like a land back movement, which is inherently very political, very leftist.
I feel like I watched I read a different.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to describe this to him. He's like, "What are you talking about?" It's
I was
about
like, man, I saw funny gum man.
Yeah.
killed
No,
that
One
guy.
Piece is about having fun with your friends and being free.
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
I mean, first of all,
that is exactly it though. Luffy's entire thing is freedom.
Right, but liberals and especially leftists and people who believe in communists and communism will argue that is freedom. Like, oh, well, if the state gives you everything, then you're free to do what you want because the state provides everything. They think of freedom as an act of just being
Well, if we even take this back like a few years ago during COVID, they weren't about freedom then. Oh no, they were about freedom, but protesting instead of church activities.
Hold on. You're twisting history. They, in their minds, yes, they were, because their mentality was and frankly still is, if there's people out there that aren't getting vaccinated and aren't wearing masks or whatnot, then that is hurting our freedom to live healthy lives. Now, are they full of shit? Absolutely, but you have to understand how. If you want to fight against this sort of stuff, you have to understand how their dumbass shit lib mind works, and in their dumbass shit lib mind, they think that they are pro freedom to have the government force people to wear masks and force people to get jabs because they should have the freedom to live in a world where they're not going to run the risk of getting sick.
Right, and that's kind of the conceit of these people that believe in various forms of statism. When you ascribe to that, you are becoming state property, and you are losing the semblance of individuality and freedom and liberty. And so it's completely antithetical to their assertion that, oh, if we go and just do these things, then life will be so much better. Not even seeing the cognitive dissonance of their own reasoning, because those are just completely diametrically opposed kind of concepts. But because their feelings are more important than actual discernment and rational logic, they'll sit here and say, my right to exist is more important than your right to make decisions.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, John hit the nail on the head. So that's why he can come up. That's why his son come up with these dumbass ideas of how One Piece is leftist, because he's looking at a very collectivist idea of fake freedom.
Well, when I brought up like the fucking protests, I meant like you were allowed to protest because that's your God-given right, but then you're also not allowed to go to church like at all at the same time. Like it's like both like it's
Well,
both
no, you're
fighting
not
for-
wrong, and that's what happened. But you're not looking into the psychology of why these fucking retarded leftists think that they are fighting for freedom when they do shit like that, and that's the important part to understand.
Also, what do you mean, girly? Are you? I thought you were talking about someone on the panel, but are you talking about?
Oh no, she's talking about them. She's talking about the guys in the video.
Oh no, they're like waifu cups. I would buy some of these. Alright, I'm not ashamed to admit it.
No, it's alright. Hey man.
I mean, like some of their fucking shit on the shelves are cool too. Like they have.
You also have to remember that Toasty is a pretty girly girl herself in certain ways. So if she's saying they're girly cups, it might just be that she actually likes them. So.
Oh, they got like Nico Robin next to the play button. Yeah, they. What also the Funko Pops? I hate Funko Pops. Literally the shittiest collectible ever. My brother loves collecting them because he has like the entire set of Venomized cups. Not cups. What's it called? What are they called? The Funko Pop the Funko Pop like Venomized collection for Marvel. He wanted to collect them all, and he has a shit ton of them. But like, I can't stand Funko Pops.
I'm not really for or against. I don't pay money for them. There's people out there who get them. It's whatever.
Yeah, like, if people give them to me as a gift, I'm down. Every now and again, there'll be some sort of limited edition one for a franchise I like. Like, oh, this is a Dragon Ball one that's only at New York Comic Con. It's like, well, I'd like to have that because I collect Dragon Ball stuff.
I think the problem is a lot of people who I would consider tourists, like instead of collecting the actual Japanese memorabilia, collect these shitty Americanized Funko Pop bullshit. Like, I feel like when it comes to like the tourist section, like shit like YouTube and stuff, when it comes to anime, like a lot of them, there's a meme that's like, oh, if you collect Funko Pops, you're just a tourist.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, just collecting Funko Pops in general makes you a tourist. I mean, I've got a giant Shinron Funko Pop sitting behind me. Again,
I'm not saying it always is.
No, I know you're not saying that. I'm just speaking just as a generality.
Yeah. All right. How long we get? Oh, 4 minutes.
Luffy is a terrorist. He is. I mean, he literally is.
I mean, he's not wrong, but like,
yeah, he is. Luffy's not a terrorist.
To the world government, he is.
No. So this word sounds wrong. Do you know the definition of terrorism?
Maybe not. I guess not.
Yeah, terrorism is state sponsored, so it's
not only that. So the terrorism, you have to be trying to achieve political status through means of crime, fear, or terror. Luffy is not doing anything to achieve a political status. He's not doing anything to change politics or whatnot. Now, the acts of he is a criminal, yes, and the acts of crime he does is an affront to the government, but his motivation is not to use fear or terror to alter political discourse or regimes. So yeah, he doesn't actually meet the qualifications of being a terrorist. He would just be a criminal.
Okay, I guess, yeah. When you say it like that, yeah.
Yeah,
I just like when I think of like when I thought of like the terrorist angle, I thought of like when he shot the flag to like basically declare war on them.
Yeah, but
So
so
like
the definition is the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. Luffy doesn't have any political aims. He is pursuing freedom.
you would
So,
agree that the what's it called, the Revolutionary Army are terrorists though, right? Because they do have political aims.
yes, the Revolutionary Army would be terrorists. Yeah, they'd be terrorists the same way that the rebels in Star Wars are technically terrorists against the Empire.
Yeah, okay.
I hate that you're kind of right.
Yes,
I fucking hate that you're kind of right.
Yeah, he is a freedom fighter in the most like honorable sense of the word.
Yeah.
But no, I don't agree with this. Like Luffy does stuff like sometimes for like I guess you consider like when his friends are in danger or something like that. But half the time he does it because he's promised food and shit. Like he's not this stoic character. Like don't get me wrong, he is a bit stoic, but what I mean by that is he doesn't do stuff because it's the good thing to do. Sometimes he won't get involved unless he's specifically asked.
Yeah, so Luffy's core value, his ultimate core value, is freedom. He values freedom above everything else. That being said, he is not also he only goes out of his way to really for any sort of event, whether it be in Wano, whether it be Thriller Bark or whatnot, to achieve he and his friends' own goals, which are to get the One Piece or whatnot, and then he gets in these political scuffles or whatnot because of the value of freedom, and which is something that he his whole pursuit throughout the show is to get freedom. He thinks if he can become the king of the pirates, that's the ultimate freedom. And so through his journeys to attain that goal, he oftentimes accidentally finds himself in other situations that align with his values of freedom.
Let's just get through this real fast because I just looked at the time and there's another video I wanted to cover about the Fallout show. So I mean, there I'll put it on 1.25 and
He's quite literally fighting against an unjustifiable, corrupt military apparatus that is like holding the entire world hostage, the world government and the Navy. He's literally killing cops. Like he's killing sea cops and motherfuckers are like, no.
Okay, well I hate how I know when he says cops, he's clearly trying to reference like fucking the US whole like, oh, cops are racist and this bullshit, I swear. Like fucking I just like I understand they are like they're a military force, but like why bring cops are different. Like isn't there like a I'm not sure if the world government, if it's just Marines, if they have like a
they have what's called Cypher Pol, which is basically you could draw an equivalent to like the international police here in the world, like Interpol. Cypher Pol is basically their version of Interpol. But also the idea that killing cops is inherently leftist is funny to me because take a look at New York City, where they had cops act as dogs of the state to enforce mask mandates. So what he would be referring to, if he was correct here, would be effectively be left on left violence.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's not politics. What do you mean? That's just like gum man having fun.
I mean, the thing is, like, I remember you saying this yesterday when we were having dinner, and I was just like,
I just like it's scum man having fun. I hate how dismissive that is. Like it literally is though. Like Luffy, like I mean, even when he's like when he's fighting someone, like especially when he unlocks Gear 5, he is literally just like laughing at. I understand like it's his all like power, but like it's funny. Like he's literally laughing the entire time. Like he doesn't like hate anyone really. Like he does hate certain people. Like I would say that he hates Doflamingo, but like even like after he sees like Crocodile again, he doesn't hate him. And like I understand he was on guard and impelled down with him, but like he actually works alongside him to free everyone from fucking the prison. Like he doesn't like I don't think he necessarily hates Crocodile anymore. Luffy doesn't hold grudges is what I'm trying to say, and like
Again, that's the element of freedom. Luffy just moves on.
I think with One Piece, just because of the art style and just the way things are, haha, funny rubber man.
Yeah.
Of course, you can take it at that level, and it's still very, very interesting stories. But if you break down some of the stuff that happens, half of it is Luffy going up against a corrupt government or corrupt.
Yeah.
Bro, you need to start an
They don't explain why. Like half the time he's drawn into it through some fucking circumstance, and other times it's because friends of his are asking him to get involved. They like fucking. It's like they think he's like this stoic character when he literally is just like, I wouldn't say self importance, but like he very much is like doing it for him or his friends versus like just the general good.
Right. Well, I think ultimately what this really kind of just comes down to is trying to read things into works of fiction that have to be based on reality as it is here in contemporary times. It can just be that someone's telling a story, and will there be overlap to kind of events that happen, as as just the human experience? Yes, but to go and say that all this stuff is because of this stuff, that's a bit of a reach. It could just be that when you're telling stories, you have to include things that actually make the worlds more lived in, and there's always going to be some kind of political component within a story, but that doesn't mean that it's actually trying to speak about where we live here and now.
Correct. Again, that it could just be literally universal truths that have existed about governments and versus citizenry throughout all of human history.
I think I'm just gonna like cut this here because like I don't want to go. Like I need time to go through the other videos.
Yeah,
So,
no
like,
worries, no worries.
That's good. Yeah, because I only have about 30 minutes left myself. So
Yeah, I think we've exhausted pretty much what this is, because I mean Hassan's always gonna Hassan. But let me know
yeah,
when you've got the other video queued up, and
yeah.
we will we'll move on over to talking about Fallout Season 1 and the preparation for Fallout Season 2.
Leon, did you watch Fallout or?
yeah, I love Fallout Season 1. Huge fan. Fallout's one of my favorite game franchises, and I think Season 1 was brilliant. And people that were hating on it do not understand the lore of Fallout.
Oh,
No, you see,
Leon?
I'm the exact opposite. I'm sorry. This show has so. I watched a guy that covered the entirety of the fucking lore breaks that completely like. It's just like this. They didn't even get the premise of when the bombs dropped. It's
Yeah, they
like
did. How
well,
did they?
let me explain. There's a party going on, right? On the East Coast, the bombs dropped at 9:47 because that's in Fallout 3. All the clocks are at 9:47. You're telling me a party's going on at 6 a.m. on the West Coast?
Okay. That might be in Fallout 3. Fair enough. I won't lie. I don't remember the exact time the bombs dropped, but that being said, Bethesda also retconned a bunch of stuff when they took over Fallout 3. So, I mean, I'm gonna be real. Retcons in Fallout have happened multiple times throughout
Well,
like 6 or 7 main games.
well,
A
even like
small detail like that, I won't lie, means next to nothing to me because whether the bombs fell at 6:30 p.m. or 6:30 a.m.
that's just
really
the
doesn't
start,
change
The
though.
anything.
minutia of the detail, there will always be in any kind of adaptive work. There's always going to be, I love the living shit out of Metal Gear Solid series, right? But even within that, there will be little kind of bits where they go and they kind of something kind of changes because they're going and they're doing a game that's now taking 20 years, earlier from something that they did 20 years ago that was set in the future. There's always going to be some degree of that. Like I had not watched Season 1 until this week, and with some trepidation, I kind of was like, you know what? I've heard good things, I've heard bad things about this. I'm just going to watch it and see how it goes through the experience. And in terms of the characterization in in the way that it's done and it presents the world as it is and everything like that, there nothing is perfect, and there will be certain kind of flaws, as you're saying, when you get into the minutia of the details. But in terms of presenting a Fallout story, I think it was actually pretty successful in that. And after having watched it the first time, I watched it again a second time to get a little bit more of an analytical take, so we could talk about this stuff here today. But I'm actually looking forward to kind of seeing where this goes in season 2, which is not something that I was even on my radar, 2 weeks ago at this point in time to where I would be with it. But I do know that there are a lot of people who kind of try to pick it apart and all this kind of stuff.
Well, lore is everything in RPGs. Like that is what you go by. You don't like. I feel like
right, but lore is still retconned in RPGs all the time as well.
I
Like,
understand that,
Final
but to
Fantasy's
the
gone through
level that
retcon.
Bethesda does it, like to the level Bethesda does it, is just remarkable. In the same game, okay, Fallout 4, let's take for example, Fallout 4, ghouls both don't need to eat or drink, and they do. There's a ghoul farm that you can take over as a settlement where all the ghouls need food and water in the system, right? But then you look at Billy in the fridge, and he's been trapped in that fridge for 200 years. And yet somehow he didn't starve to death or anything. So like,
Right.
Again, I get what you're saying about the lore being important and whatnot, and I don't disagree with that. But it's not like the show has done anything more egregious than Bethesda has done, or than oh, I'm blanking on the original guy's name that made the first
studio.
Yeah, but Black Isle Studios. I used to know the actual developer's name, but like they've changed
Tim
their
Kaine.
own lore. But Fallout 1 and 2, and I like the point is, while changing the lore and retconning is a genuine criticism, applying it unfairly only to the show when the games have done it to themselves
No,
as
no,
well.
no. I completely hate everything Bethesda Fallout. Like, I do. I hate it all. Like Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas are my favorite games of all. Well, I guess like I would say that New Vegas is my favorite Fallout, but 2 and 1 are great too. Like and like I'm very much like I'm the
New Vegas
just like
is still Bethesda Fallout, though. I get
No.
Obsidian made the game and whatnot, but they made it with the oversight of Bethesda. That's like being like Legend of
no,
Zelda.
no,
The Minish
no.
Cap
They
is the
didn't have
Nintendo.
oversight. They were completely left alone while they were working on Skyrim.
No,
They
they
were
had.
completely working on
When I
Skyrim.
say, hold on, I'm getting you wrong. When I say they had oversight, what I mean is they have, as in they had like creative control. They had
Deliverables
veto
and things
power,
like
things
that.
like that. They like they now did they trust Obsidian and maybe they left them alone? Sure, but did they have the power to intervene? Yeah, contractually, Bethesda could have stepped in and said, "Can't do this, can't do this." Like Nintendo did the same thing with Capcom when they made Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. And Nintendo's like, "Yo, Capcom, make this Zelda game," and Capcom made the Zelda game, but Nintendo is still the publishing power and control. They had veto power. It just so happens that Capcom's good enough at their job. Nintendo didn't need to step in or do anything.
I just like I don't agree that it's like a Bethesda Fallout, like because it's clearly that like I feel like they left
the
them
entire
alone.
thing
I
is based on
understand they
how
had
the Fallout 3 engine and how the Fallout 3 plays out. I mean, if it's not Bethesda Fallout, why does it function exactly like a Bethesda Fallout game?
well, I think the difference is the story. Like Bethesda Fallouts are always like I consider Bethesda Fallouts 3, 4, 76, and Shelter, right? Like it's just like the story is dog shit. Yeah, they choose like gunfare over actual story. While in New Vegas, there are several different ways to do different quests. There are like different branching stories. There's like everything like
That
that.
exists in 3 and 4 as well. I'm very confused. I
Three
can't
it
take
does not exist in, but four it was done so poorly.
How does it not exist in 3?
Can you name me a quest that actually like
Yeah, the
divulges?
final question, you go into the get the air out of the or to get the Gek working. You can either do it yourself or you can send in
Liberty Prime.
That was
not-
added by a DLC. That was not in base game though.
added or not, is it there?
But that is that was a criticism at the time that you literally kill off your character while you have a
Blowing up
super
Megaton.
mutant.
Blowing up Megaton right at the beginning of the game. You're pretty much offered a quest that dictates the entire future of the game. Whether you decide to blow up,
But do
or
you
save it.
really lose out on anything? Yeah, you can lose the
Yeah, you
bobblehead.
lose out on that fundamentally alters the direction of the story. What choice you decide to take with
Does
Megaton.
anyone? No, I know we're getting a bit heated, but like, does anyone actually reference Megaton being blown up in Rivet City in like Canterbury Commons, and no one references it?
Yeah,
You
it absolutely is reference. Based on what decision you make, let's say with the ghouls in Tenpenny Tower, you'll have what's his name, murder, murder Tenpenny or not murder Tenpenny. Like these are all things that affect the story. Like in any RPG has got side quests and whatnot that are not going to inherently tie to the main big bad evil guy. That's why they're called side
No,
quests.
and I'm not saying that it should tie into Big Bad, but I'm saying like with the Megaton quest, right? The one that blew up the sea. nothing physical, like there's no like changes in the world. Like yeah, you might run across like the people who like there's like some militia or something that forms from the remnants and they might hunt you down. But like besides that, there's
The girl
like there's
that
no
writes the
lore
Vault Dweller
changes.
Survival Guide, and the girl that writes the Vault Dweller Survival Guide in Megaton survives the blast if you choose to blow it up, and she fucking like she loathes you. She finds
No,
you to be an evil,
dude,
vile.
what? No, she doesn't. She literally still gives you the quest to do her quest. She
Yeah,
doesn't
but
hate you.
that's
She
for,
doesn't even know you did it.
that's for gameplay purposes, so you can continue getting like experience and whatnot. But like in universe and lore, the point is there's a ramification for the story. Everyone's dead except her. She's now the lone survivor of an atomic blast that took out her city. Like that. I would say there's a story implication there.
Right, and not
Well,
every
let's
choice
like
has to be earth shattering in terms of the way that it creates those fissures and things like that. But it's through the coursework of that decision now branches off to these possible decisions. But if you go this way, then you have these possible decisions.
well, I think
Sometimes you'll
we're
even still end up back at the same kind of thing, but for a different reason. You know, I know earlier when I was talking about this with other people, I was talking about how the adaptation of Zack Snyder's version of Watchmen, I think, is a serviceable movie. But there are a lot of
100%
people
agree.
who
Yeah, no, I love, especially the director's cut. Like people are mad at change the video. I 100% agree.
but there are
well,
people out there who freak out because it doesn't have the intergalactic alien aspect, and they're just like, oh, it's completely, and it's like, but really, can you just
well, I
kind of let
just
it?
like I just want to compare like the Megaton quest to something in New Vegas, okay?
Mhm.
So let's I won't choose any main quest related thing. We'll do a side quest, all right? So let's compare it to so let me think of a quest in particular
Well,
because
I don't even think there's a reason to do that because I actually agree with the New Vegas is better. I just think
Right.
that
but
you're
I think
unfairly
that
characterizing
I
Fallout.
think my main point in comparison is really because when you like do a quest, like there are physical changes to the world. For instance, when you do the quest to let me think. So like the quest to actually I'm not sure if you know this quest, but like there's a quest to both solve the water problems, and then there's a quest for the radiation problem with the water when it comes to the sharecropper farm, right? Both of those you need to complete both of those in favor of the NCR, or else the sharecroppers will just leave. They'll leave like and that's story driven. Like they will actually say, oh, we're leaving because these quests weren't fulfilled in the way they want. You compare that to Megaton, and no one in the rest of the world comments on whether you blow. I mean, your father does.
And that's fine. It was literally Bethesda's very first attempt at reviving a dead franchise.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's gonna have some
But
stuff that's
if compared to Morrowind, and Morrowind is so much better. Like they're like literally, they were
Morrowind's
good
a different franchise.
before.
I'm not talking Morrowind. That's an irrelevant
I
comparison.
understand that, but I'm just comparing. Like Bethesda was good. Like they were actually good at making these like intricate stories. But like I feel like especially after 3 and then 4 and then fucking like Skyrim, all these games dropped all the RPG mechanics. Well, not 3. 3 still had them, but Skyrim and 4, they dropped almost every single RPG mechanic. And
Again, I'm not going to defend the games becoming more streamlined, but that's a completely different argument than whether or not the lore, for example, in the Fallout show is being adhered to the lore from the games.
well, okay, we could get back to the show that I don't even want. I'll cover this video some other time, but I'd rather just keep talking since
Yeah.
we don't have time. We could just keep talking about the
If you
show.
want, I can play the trailer for season 2. I do have that queued up. If you
Yeah,
like
we could play that for a bit.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to the Fallout show, okay, like I do criticize Bethesda a lot. Like I feel like they're ruining Fallout. Like especially with 4 and 76, it's clear that they don't understand Fallout. Like 3,
How do you think 4 ruins, or how do you think Bethesda ruins 76? Well, maybe we'll get to 4 if we got the time, but like 76, for example, minus the awful destructive launch, which I mean, everybody will agree was one of the worst things that ever happened. Look at 76 and where it's at now. It's a brilliant game. I don't know if you've played it or not.
I do play it. Yeah, I have like
How
600 hours
does
in it.
76 not understand Fallout?
So, for instance, well, first off, the art design, okay? If we compare it to Fallout 1, 2, and even 3, the art design is like I forget what word someone used, but like it's like this like decrepit old like it's like not Neolithic. What is it called? Like it's like I forget what art design, but then like in 4 and especially 76, it's all cartoony. Like it's retro futuristic. It's not like this like dark grim like architecture where like everything is pretty much like
I mean, 3 is retro futuristic as well. I just
Mhm.
like
well,
yeah, has
I
the
think
art
the
design
art
changed?
design was a bit different though. Like, it still remained true to like the decrepit old like Neolithic looking like style of building and stuff. Not Neolithic. It's some I don't know the word someone used, but I agree with the phrasing. Like the art design of 3 looked very much like 1 and 2, especially if you look at like the boneyard and how that looks in Fallout 1. Like
Right.
they changed it to be like retro futuristic instead of like this like yeah, there was some aspects 1, 2, 3 New Vegas that all had retro futurism, but there was also the I'm talking about strictly the architecture. Like it's like for
Right,
instance
but Fallout 76 exists in Appalachia. That's a
Right.
very
I was gonna say you're talking about different regions of the country, so
yeah.
there is gonna be regional
Like I
aspects
live in the
to
Midwest. When I go down south to Texas or go out east or whatnot, it looks very different than
Mhm.
where I live in the U.S.
Right, right.
or
I've
in the
I've lived
Midwest.
all over the U.S. myself as well, and I can say that Savannah does not look like here, and
well then
certainly doesn't look like
I think that
Seattle. You know,
I mean,
there's
they could have done different looking architecture, but even Fallout 3 remained true to even the original Fallouts because the architecture looks like it's mostly rubble, but there's like certain aspects that look just like the older games. Like it's this
Yeah,
decrepit,
but
like
they take place again. That's what we're saying is those take place. 3 takes place in D.C. 1 and 2 take place on the East Coast, California. Those are metropolitan hubs. Appalachia is mountain people country. Like we're talking, deep wood folk, woodsy hoodsy folk. Like it's of course it's going to be visually different. The not just the architecture, but the landscape, the people that live in those areas, because Appalachia is a very different place than
Mhm.
California.
Yes,
to
yes.
bring up like 76 again, right? Like the problem with 76 also when it comes to lore is like and Fallout and Bethesda has come out and said apparently that 76 is lore accurate. So I bring this up because or canon, sorry, not lore accurate, canon. Like what I'm saying is like I'm sorry, but somehow we have like several different new types of power armor when like it before like when like it's described that T60 in Fallout 4, which is another retcon that's the newest version in like Fallout 4. And they could in Fallout 4 they could have explained it that the Brotherhood produced this armor like after the war with the Enclave in 3, but they decided to make it a pre-war. So T60 is pre-war, by the way. It's not post-war. Like the
Right.
Brotherhood didn't make it when that could have explained how they got them. But
Now
like to bring
I do think though that when you're talking about you know a story that spans hundreds of years, and
well, power armor is
well,
new
right, right,
tech
but
at the end
right,
of
but
Hold on,
the
just
let's see what John
let me
say.
yeah. So
yeah.
you're talking about a story that spans hundreds of years. The world is a wasteland, and so there are going to be pockets of information that some people just don't really even know about, and they may look at it from where they're at in the world, and there is these communication gaps that are obviously happening. So
Well, so
some
this
stuff can
information comes from the actual loading screens that I would assume is lore accurate. I'm pretty sure when it comes to the T60 loading screen, they say that it's a pre-war design, which I assume is like it doesn't fall under this category of like, oh, this might be lost like knowledge that oh, it's actually post-war instead, you know?
To
well
be fair, like there's also a difference between what is in a game for gameplay mechanics versus what's lore. Like Resident Evil is a great example. If you look at the lore of just the very first game, Resident Evil, Chris, Jill, Rebecca, and Barry all make it out alive. No
mhm,
matter how you play the game, there's no actual way to get all 4 out alive. If you're playing as Chris, you can never get Barry out alive. If you're playing as Jill, you can never get Rebecca out alive. But in
right.
lore and canon, they all make it out. So gameplay mechanics versus the canon lore are kind of always going to be at odds with one
Right.
another. I mean, Resident Evil
Well,
came out in
well,
'96.
no,
Like,
because I agree with you on that, but when it comes to this in particular, they're creating all these new types of power armor. In 76, there are like 7 different new types of power armor, which they consider canon. When like power armor was something they developed during Anchorage, which is at the close end of the actual like when the bombs drop. This is new
Right,
technology,
but
and they have several different new types.
Right, but I'm gonna be real. If you were to ask me, yo, Leon, what is more damaging to lore? A video game with a definitive canon ending that when you play the game, you never even actually see the definitive canon ending because it's not even in the game, or some aesthetic power armor that it doesn't really do anything for the story to serve gameplay purposes. I'm gonna say Resident Evil, and it not showing the true canon ending no matter how you play is a far more egregious thing than different types of power armor. Like,
right.
Well,
And
okay, I think another thing, right? Oh, I'll let John go, then I'll
yeah,
go. You go ahead.
my thought is on this, especially when you're playing role playing games. My run through of the story is not going to be the same as your run through, and even when you play it
Well, it
again, unless you
depends.
specific.
It
No.
depends.
What I'm saying is
yeah, let finish.
is
Okay.
everyone takes their own approach through this world space, right? And so to
Yeah.
some degree, however you encounter Fallout uh, on your first run through, you might try something different on your second run through. But my version of what that story is my version of it, just like anyone else. And so there might be certain stuff that's in there that you're all going to experience, but the way that you go through that experience can also kind of shift how you look at it. And so when you if you're so fixated on every little rivet and bolt and everything like
Well,
that
it's not
being in
just like it's
place,
not like one little rivet, right? It's an ocean of rivets that like produce my thinking of why I think like Fallout when it comes to Bethesda Fallout is inferior. Like it's not just one problem, it's like thousands, like not thousands, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's like hundreds of little problems, including some bigger problems.
right? But what I'm saying is, when you take this for what it is it ever going to be what everybody wants? No, that is just foolhardy to
Well,
think that
I would just
there's not
go
a way to
on.
satisfy everyone, especially when you're
Right.
talking about stories that are giving you a lot of agency. And so,
Well, it's not about
when you look at this as a story that they put out, I just take it for what it is, and for what it is, it actually does show how the characterization works within the game. It shows you snippets of side story stuff that you probably wouldn't have seen. You would have encountered it if you were playing through it in a linear kind of narrative. You wouldn't have seen a lot of the things that play out in this. And so it this is a different take on Fallout in the way that it's presented, but in terms of what it's actually telling in the story and things like that, I think it's successful enough in the sense that it might not be for everyone. And if you're very into certain things about the game and this and that, it's probably not going to work for you. But if you could just kind of appreciate it for what it actually is getting right in the broad strokes and actually setting the space and the mindset, and not necessarily trying to code one side against the other as anything more than everyone's flawed, and
well, the
everybody has
problem with
secrets
that
and
is
this kind
like
of stuff.
I genuinely think that like Bethesda never actually understood Fallout because and even now there's people in Bethesda who say like, oh, it's always been anti-capitalism, when in actuality like Tim Kaine came out and said, oh, it never has been about anti-capitalism.
Yeah, but people saying dumb shit is not indicative of it. For example, everybody jumped the gun on Bethesda being like, "Oh, Indiana Jones is going to be woke because we have the guy with the rainbow thing saying modern audience." Now it turns out Indiana Jones is fucking fine. There's I mean, the game was no big deal, didn't have any of that stuff in it. Now later on, there's that dumbass fascist thing that got replicated. That's point is. When it comes to let's use an example of the most famous RPG of all time, I would argue is Final Fantasy VII. Like, is there any RPG out there more famous than Final Fantasy VII?
I think that would probably be
I think that's probably the bar, right?
Modern one, maybe Baldur's Gate 3.
I still think that more people probably know Final Fantasy VII over
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 because it's been part of the public zeitgeist for long. But the point I'm getting at is that Final Fantasy Tactics, you can get Cloud on your team. That's not canon. It's in the game. Was not canon. Like Cloud, it takes place in a different universe. Cloud is not part of that
Well,
story.
no, I agree. I agree that like
same for fans. Like, so just things being in a game or whatnot. If we want to be sticklers to the lore and that everything needs to be
Well,
exactly
I think
perfect,
that there's a bit of a difference between like the canon endings in terms of how you play it and canon lore. Like no matter which ending you do, right? Certain lore in locations will always be the same. For instance, you in Vault 111, you will always find out that the security revolted against the scientists from the terminal entries. That's canon lore that no
even
one
that's
can
not true.
change.
It's a glitchy, buggy game. You can glitch the game to where you get out of the vault as a baby.
No, no, no.
and
I'm talking about
never get
Fallout 4. The Vault 111 is Fallout
Oh,
4.
yeah, 111. My bad. I was thinking 101. But anyway, you might not find that out if you don't read the files. Like I get what you're saying. If you play the
But
game as
regardless, that's
intended,
in the lore. Like you can't like no matter what you do. I understand like there's different canon endings, and like Bethesda might say, "Oh, this one is the canon ending versus the others, which aren't." But like I also like just saying like there are certain things that are set in stone. Like for
Right,
instance,
right? And I agree with that. Peter Parker will always become Spider-Man because of a mistake he made with Uncle Ben. Like that's canon in that sense. So I'm not saying the canon is in flux. There's certain things that can't be changed. What I am saying is that when you're creating something as massive and expansive as an RPG, which the entire basis of RPGs is built around player choice, you are going to have to sacrifice rigid lore in service of player freedom.
well, I want to bring you back to some of the before we have to go in like 5 or so minutes or whatever. I do want to bring it back to lore stuff. So another problem I have with Bethesda Fallout in particular is how relevant that FEV is and like the Brotherhood is and everything to every game they make. So first off, we saw FEB be added to Fallout 3, right? Vault Tech somehow got FEV when it was supposed to be only on the West Coast, where like West Tech was still experimenting with it. But then also, the Institute got FEV too. So somehow a college got experimental super soldier serum that they were working on, but it's supposed to be a top secret military project. But then also West Tech is someone using FEV in the groundwater in 76. It's like I understand like super mutants are a staple of Fallout, but can we not get new enemies? And also with the Brotherhood, we're gonna find out the Brotherhood is in Hawaii, it's in Canada, it's in Europe. Like they cannot like it's a very big criticism that they cannot let these go. What they should be creating their own lore, not using like bastardizing shit from like.
I don't think that's a bastardization though. I mean, in Resident Evil, who made the T virus? Umbrella, who also has access to it as the story goes on. Tricell, two Veltro.
Well, that's after Umbrella is dissolved, isn't it? I haven't played the older game, so I wouldn't know. But
during Umbrella doesn't actually fall until 2003. Ada steals the samples from Raccoon City in '98 and delivers them to a bunch of different competitors. Like, is there an in-universe lore reason for it? There is. So the point is, like, I give it a say with the FEV, but again, this comes down to there are certain, we'll say, staples of the Fallout universe. Like you said, like Super Mutants is a great example. When people play Fallout, they want to see them some goddamn super mutants. So if they have to write a lore reason as to why there'd be super mutants in Appalachia, that's to service the fans who expect super mutants.
Yeah.
well, on top of that, their iteration of super mutants, like in Fallout 1 and 2, super mutants might be dumb, right? But they were never just straight up savages. They never attacked anyone. Yes, if you anger them, they will attack you. But like they weren't like these like savages that were always hostile, minus these two examples, right? And meanwhile, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, 76, they're all just savages who instead of like having their own like they might be a little bit dumb, right? There are dumb supermutants, but they're not overtly hostile.
Right, but again, that just goes back to lore stuff. Like just with a quick Google search, like I remember there was a bunch of different types of FEV, and yeah, there is West Coast FEV2, Vault 87 FEV strain, FEV curling 13, modified FEV. Like so, there's again, if you're like, hey, why don't they do new enemies or new reasons? Or so well, we've got lore reasons. There's multiple different strains of FEV that can cause different things, which would be why the super mutants in Fallout 1 and 2 might be different than the ones in 4 or 76. Like is
But like I understand that, but like it's just so weird that like they do these like oh, these are all hostile. These are hostile orcs, but there's one or two good ones. Like, couldn't you do like a small faction of them who are good instead of just, oh, it's just one or two? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, they're always hostile, minus these two examples.
Well, I mean, that seems like you're if you're critical about that aspect of the writing, that's one of those things where when you're doing story design for a game, there's all sorts of stuff that goes into it, and so trying to it's one of those things where you're either going to piss people off because you've gone and done something with that's already established, or you'll piss off people because you're going and bringing in something new. So
Right.
it's going to be one of those things. No matter what, someone out there is going to have some kind of negative perspective on it, and so you just have to kind of make your decisions and kind of like what you were saying about Resident Evil, the lore versus the way the game plays. When you play Metal Gear Solid, right? The ending, you either get out with Hal or you get out with Meryl, but they're both alive. When you get to Metal Gear Solid 4. But so one of these things, like when you're playing through a game and what your actual experience is in your playthrough doesn't necessarily relate to what the overall kind of thing is, and so there will be differences from entry to entry, but then there's also things that they try to have in there that give it a little bit more stability because it's familiar, and so there you will see stuff like that where
Well,
my final thought on this is that like canon when it comes to games and whatnot, it's very different. Like I'm very much a lore hound, and I want lore to be as accurate and consistent as possible. But that is when you come to movies or books or comics, manga. That is, I think it's far more important for those because that is a static medium. Whereas gaming is the only medium that has player interactivity. So you can't be as rigid with lore in the gaming sense because it is you have to add that extra layer of interactivity that interfaces the player to the world. So things will inevitably have to be different. Like you said, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Fallout. It's if we're talking just like a book series, Harry Potter, and she fucks up her own lore as she writes along. Okay, that's a problem because that's a static world in terms of there's no interfacing with the world. You're just experiencing it through reading. That's out the window when you have an interactive medium like gaming, where you do like by design have to be a bit looser with it.
Right.
Well, there's a bit looser, but then there's also like completely like shitting. Like, I'm sorry, every game seems to has like dozens of like lore breaks. Like, it's not just like this one or two thing. Like, yeah, it might happen a few times, but like each game I can name dozens of like small problems that like eventually grow to be much larger than they should be. But like,
I think
it's
you're
just
kind of
like
the exception rather than the rule, though, in terms of fandom, in terms of
I don't know. Like,
no, I'm just saying that you are very, very passionate about your fandom with Fallout, right? Whereas, and so it's going to be harder to please you than it is, say, Leon and I right now, we're sitting here, yeah, I got no problem with the series. I actually think it was quite successful in terms of actually presenting that kind of story and getting it across to people that might not have ever experienced it otherwise. I think it actually is pretty good in giving you a general sense of what it is to even play the games and also the world that kind of stuff takes place in. And so if that's what they set out to do, then they actually achieved the goal. But is that going to be to everybody's satisfaction? Certainly not. There's definitely
Not
things
that, but I would round out by saying there's 6 Fallout games, like not counting spinoffs. There's 6 Fallout games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 76, and New Vegas. The OG team only did the first 2. Everything after has been Bethesda or overseen by Bethesda in the case of Obsidian with New Vegas. So if anything, I would say Bethesda has more of a claim to the lore than the originals.
actually, isn't Tactics a bit canon because
Not
isn't like
Tactics isn't canon.
a little bit? It's partial canon.
No, Tactics does not recognize as canon, like at all. Tactics, like there's stuff in Tactics that maybe is referenced in other games, whatnot, but Tactics as a game is not recognized as part of the canon.
I thought that like in Bethesda particular, like they do reference like something in like I feel like the Citadel that has to do with tactics, which is like the not the Pridwin, but Yo, what's up, Seb?
If you show me a source saying that Tactics is canon, fair enough. But based on everything
I'm
I've
not
ever
saying
read,
it's all canon. It's like it's mostly not canon, but some shit is like is referenced.
okay, splitting the nitty gritty hairs of canon. The point is, Bethesda or Bethesda adjacent have made 4 of the 6 main games. At that point, in my opinion, they've laid claim to the canon. People can like the originals. I love the original. I love Fallout 1 too, and I'm never going to take away from them. But modern Fallout has been done far more for the world building, the expansion, the whole nine, than the original Fallout. So I'd say they have overtaken the original. So yeah, that the current run of the canon does supersede.
Well, there are a few other things I wanted to go about the show, but I could always talk to you about that later.
The nice thing is we have many more shows to come, and with season 2 right around the corner, I'm sure that we'll be able to dip back into the Fallout. Well,
It'll be nice to actually watch a TV show again because I've and you know what, if it sucks, I'll be honest about it sucking. But yeah, no, I really liked season 1, so we'll see.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it now. Not expecting to actually enjoy it as much as I did, but it like I say, the characterization is top notch. Walter Goggins is amazing. Even kind of answering questions that I never even wanted to ask to begin with. The way that you actually get the reveal about who the ghoul is, and and what that's actually kind of about. There's some interesting stuff in there. And so
there's this meme going around in a Discord I'm in, the final point, but like it's a meme where it's like, oh, be the original, like it's like all the achievements of Walter Goggins, like his character, and it's like he's like the most, like he's inspired so much shit, like when it comes to like the lore of Fallout, that he's like the most important character in all of Fallout now.
Well, I mean, he's Pip-Boy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he referenced the Pip-Boy. It's like there's like a long list of shit that like someone made in a Discord I'm in that I'll probably send to you guys like after stream. That like it's interesting. Like there's so much shit that he's like directly involved in and shit.
Right, and that's part of the reason to make him into a ghoul, so that you can have that connection to the old world, to what's the through line of this narrative. So I don't know. It like I say, I am enjoying it. I watched it, almost all the way through twice now, and because I actually did appreciate it, I'm going to finish watching it later on today. I'm going to watch the last 3 episodes again, because it's actually, for what it is. Is it perfect? Is it going to meet everybody's scrutiny? No, but for what it is, I can actually kind of take it as it's laid out, as being respectful to the overall concept and delivering an actual kind of Fallout-like experience that is adapted to linear storytelling.
All right, well let's get out of here then. Let's
Indeed.
You guys want to show your shit?
As you are our guest today, Leon, what do you got going on?
Well, for those of you guys that don't know, I actually have a second channel. I have a gaming channel, and I've been doing a lot more with it lately. Been putting some videos up there, been streaming on it. Me and some of the Saturday Night Hypnosis crew are going to be streaming Sonic Crossroads Racing tonight. So if you want to go to the gaming channel, Glitch in Paradise, we'll be doing that. And I dropped a video at like noon today about the fate of anime and where it is with the global Western takeover and Western investments investing in anime. So check that out on the channel, and videos and streams every day.
Awesome. As for myself, of course, you can always see me throughout the week on WTF Live, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we'll be going over episodes 5 and 6 of Series 6 for Red Dwarf. And who knows, we might end up into a Jackbox stream. We always do those based on audience interaction. Anytime we get 50 new members, we play some Jackbox, so those could happen at any point in time. I'll also be doing another stream with Toasty tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do stuff over on her channel at Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays throughout the week. On Rumble exclusively because, Toasty is not liked by the body politic of the way that YouTube governs its terms of service. So we're waiting out. We're waiting out her strike ban kind of stuff so that she can avoid getting deplatformed, and we'll be re-debuting over there in January. on YouTube with a whole new studio and everything like that. So I'm busy doing all that kind of stuff throughout the week in addition to the streams currently. And on the weekends, right before this show, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, I do the Weekend Culture on Honey Badger Arcade, and then we'll be doing this bi-weekly for the foreseeable until we get to the point that if we decide that we'll go weekly with it, then we'll keep you updated on all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, generally you can usually find me on Discord or X. Just use @problematic_John or look for ProblematicWhiteGuy and all the various places. You'll probably find me. But it was great having you here for the conversation today, Leon. I was definitely
No, it was a blast. That's how you do it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I was glad when Jester said about asking you here, because like, well, in terms of anime knowledge, yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet and just gonna let Leon come in and take point on that, because I watch anime. When I was younger, I watched a lot more of it than I do these days. But you know, it was definitely great having you here. And to all the people who took the time out of their day to hang out with us for the last 2 hours, we greatly do appreciate it, regardless what platform you're on or whether you're active in the chat or not. We do appreciate all of you taking your time. But with that said, you all have a wonderful weekend going forward. Of course, safe travels ahead, and definitely be awesome as always. Other than that, do you have any parting words that you would like to tell everybody, Jester?
Not really. I just everyone have a great day, and I'll probably be doing this again in 2 weeks.
Sweet. All right. Well, you all have a wonderful time, and I guess we will see you on the next go round. And we don't really have an ending just yet, so I will just play the opening for this, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, I guess. Thanks again.
Step right up, let's laugh and fight. Heroes rise and fools take flight. Power levels, stats don't track. Plot armor's got my back. Masked ideals, a hollow prize. They rewrite fate with painted lies. Stripped of soul, the stories break, but legends stand